Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Drive Away Dolls, directed by Ethan Coen and Tricia Cook. Now, the Coen brothers, as you may know, are directors who are behind some of the most iconic films in cinema when it comes to the more crime-comedy variety, such as Fargo, Raising Arizona, and even a prestige cowboy film like the True Grit remake. But when the Coen brothers split up, Ethan Coen decided to direct this film and write it alongside his wife Tricia Cook. It stars Margaret Qualley as Jamie and Geraldine Viswanathan as Marion. These two ladies happen to be lesbians on a road trip to Tallahassee to meet Marion's auntie. But while they're there, and while they're going to as many bars as possible and having some flirty times with as many women as possible, they happen to discover that their car has a case inside of it full of some very suspicious items. Plus, they happen to be involved in a criminal conspiracy that involves Pedro Pascal, Matt Damon, and Coleman Domingo, who are all part of this ridiculous plot line involving a senator, some very adult items inside of the briefcase, and some very inept criminals. So Jamie and Marion have to find their way to get through all of this while just trying to have a good time. And that's all I'll say about the story. For a movie that's only 83 minutes long, it sure packs in a lot of plot when it comes to the B storyline. But for the A plot, a lot of it focuses on Jamie and Marion getting along as a comedic duo and also getting along as two women who happen to love other women. It basically doesn't even try to hide that part of itself, and it feels a lot like an Alison Bechdel comic when it comes to how the two women get along with each other. Mainly because the two actresses have really great chemistry with each other, and while one is loud and doesn't care who she offends, the other is more reserved and tries to hide everything she can about herself, only letting her true colors show when she's with someone she loves or when she feels like there's no other way out of a situation. Because of that, these two are flawed, but they're also pretty hilarious together. But I also think that some people might be disappointed when it comes to the big stars that only get bit parts here. Basically, Damon, Pascal, and Domingo only get a few scenes in this film, though they do make the most of their limited screen time. And most of the comedy, while being of the sexual variety, is still pretty entertaining considering very few films of this type go for this specific kind of humor. Like, how many crime films do you know of where the briefcase's contents are not only ridiculously adult-oriented, but are also related to a conspiracy involving a senator who says he's one thing, but is actually another? It's generally showing off the duality of the human experience in that sense, and given some of the psychedelic scenes, it's definitely a vibes movie in that sense. Given that the movie also takes place in 1999, it really does have that sense of not only early internet potential, but also the sense that it's a road trip movie that appeals to Ethan Coen's roots. It does have some Raising Arizona vibes when it comes to some of the shots that are done, and when it comes to a few of the lines, but it's still able to stand out as its own thing. I wouldn't say it's one of the Coen brothers' most well-made films, considering it only has one of the Coen brothers to begin with, but I do think it's a fun, easy breezy watch, especially if you happen to like the two actresses in the main roles. So that's why I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. See you next time.